తెలుగు రాష్ట్రాల్లో పెట్టుబడులకు సానుకూల వాతావరణం ఉంటుందని బ్లూంబర్గ్ ఏషియా పసిఫిక్ మాజీ హెడ్ నితిన్ జైస్వాల్ అన్నారు. నైపుణ్యాలతో కూడిన మానవ వనరులు, సుస్థిర ఆర్థిక వృద్ధికి ఇరు రాష్ట్రాలు ప్రాధాన్యత ఇవ్వాలని అన్నారు. సమర్థవంతమైన విధానాలను అభివృద్ధి చేయడంతో పాటు వాటి అమలుకు పూనుకుంటే ఏపీ, తెలంగాణ స్పేస్ రంగంలో గ్లోబల్ హబ్గా ఎదుగుతుందని అంటున్న నితిన్ జైస్వాల్తో బిజినెస్ ఎడిటర్ మురళి ఎక్స్క్లూజివ్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ.
పెట్టుబడులను ఆకర్షించడంలో రెండు తెలుగు రాష్ట్రాలు పోటీ పడుతున్నాయి. స్టార్టప్స్ నుంచి ఎంఎన్సీల వరకు కంపెనీలను రప్పించేందుకు చొరవ చూపుతున్నాయి. ఈ విషయాలపై మనతో చర్చించేందుకు ఫార్మర్ బ్లూంబర్గ్ టాప్ ఎగ్జిక్యూటివ్ ఏజ్ టెక్ లీడర్షిప్ CEO నితిన్ జైస్వాల్ మనతో ఉన్నారు. వారితో మాట్లాడదాం. హాయ్ నితిన్ జీ, నమస్తే.
Namaste.
How do you see the potential of the both Telugu states?
See, I think we have seen in past both states offer a lot of opportunities for both Indian investors and global investors to come, especially on the technology sector. And we all know that globally the world is getting digitized. So if you see in 2000 when the Y2K happened, and that was one of the main reasons why the growth story of Hyderabad actually started the IT. And now we are at the same stage. Because of artificial intelligence, what is happening, with quantum computing, what is happening, and you will see a lot of redesign and recreation of digital infrastructure. And this provide again the states of Telangana and Andhra, who has a fantastic tech talent, to utilize the opportunity to become the global hub to, as I said, redefine and recreate digital infrastructure for the new world.
Right, Nitin ji. What kind of measures do you suggest for increase the investment flow to Hyderabad and as well as AP?
So I think it's a very good question you are actually asked. What measures we can take? See, one is I think the talent is the most important reason why anybody will come to set up operations. People think it is tax and other measures. It is important, but talent is the most important reason. Now, what we need to do is we did a very good job to create a lot of engineering institutions and other education institutions. The infrastructure is there. We need to change what we are teaching them. We need to change how we are teaching them. We need to look at recreating the curriculum which we have and provide more practical experience. See, what I see is largely what we are looking at is people go to college to get that education to pass the exam and come out. But in the real world, what we require is the practical applicability. Okay. So if you ask me, one of the first thing we need to do is continue to focus on building the talent. And for that, we need to redesign the education system. Without that, we will actually struggle. No amount of promotion, no amount of tax break will actually help to do that. And the second thing what I actually say is look at the cities. Okay. I talk to a lot of non-resident Indians globally. Most of them are at a stage where they have done very well and they want to come back. But their challenge is the city infrastructure because they're used to certain kind of lifestyle. If we are able to provide that kind of infrastructure, if we are able to provide them that kind of lifestyle, and I can bet all the Indians who have done very well, and as you know, a large number of technology professionals who have done well are from Telangana and from Andhra, will be more than happy to come back with their experience and with their wealth. And they can become the next entrepreneurs who can help India growth story to take it forward.
Right. Which sectors do you suggest to unlock the real potential of both Telugu states?
Sir, one is I don't want to go back to the same sectors which everybody talk about. Like everybody talk about climate, everybody talk about fintech. I want to step back and I want both Telangana and Andhra to think big and look at next growth story. Let me give you 2-3 specific examples which not many countries and states are focusing on. Okay. The first, I hope that these two states focus on becoming the hub for quantum computing. Okay, that is going to be very big. We need to see how, the central government has come out with framework, guideline, regulatory framework for quantum. Can Andhra step up to do that, or Telangana to do that? And especially where these two states have very big advantage is on the space tech side. Okay, I was just sharing this earlier with someone. If you look at Bangalore became tech hub largely because of Indian Institute of Sciences. Hyderabad became pharma hub because of IDPL. So we have Sriharikota here. Okay, so we have that intelligence is already there. can we actually capitalize that and become the global center for space tech? So that is something which not many states and countries are focusing on seriously. We could actually do that. We have a lot of agriculture, we have logistics in this part of the world, and space tech is a very important element. And globally, people want to do climate, and for that, space is a very important element. So Andhra and Telangana, if they play it well, can become the hub for space tech to support the global climate industry and agriculture industry. Last but not least, where I'll say is what a project which I'm working on, the longevity economy. This is something Chief Minister Naidu has been talking about on the population and demography. The world is aging very fast. Globally, people are getting old. Okay, and we are not paying attention how they can actually, how we can support them. So the whole idea of longevity economy, which I'm working on, is what can the governments do to support the aging population. And the story is very big, sir. The number is like this. Today, there are 1.5 billion people age of 50 plus. The economic value they have is $17 trillion, which is expected to go to $30 trillion. Can these two states basically become the hub to support the longevity economy globally? I think they have a very good chance to do that. And I strongly believe and I hope that these two states focus on the longevity economy hub. And I'm talking to the stakeholders, I'm talking to the government, and hopefully we get to see and do something to make both Telangana and Andhra the first global hub for the longevity economy.
Right. Telangana government focusing on AI city and AP government launching 4P. People, public, private partnership. So what's your take on both these concepts?
See, basically, one thing which I strongly believe, I talk about the broader than this specific, frameworks, is the government, any policy is successful when the government has a framework, how they want to execute on it. Okay. And in these two initiatives which the two states government has come out with, that clearly shows they are approaching to solve the problem in a very structured way. Okay. And that is the first step to be successful. And they have taken the first step with these two measures. And I'm hoping that, we need to get to the second stage. We do a very good job of creating the framework, the policies. The most important is the execution of it. And what needs to be seen. And I hope these two states are as innovative as they have been with creating policies in terms of executing on those two. Because if we fail and if we do a regular job of implementing, good policies will not be able to produce any results.
Hiring trends are showing the negative ways. What kind of skills required for new graduates?
So basically, I will say the practical skills are the most important. We have focused a lot on the theoretical skills. I have been trying to, build some applications. I've been trying to create solutions. I go and talk to a lot of engineers and a lot of computer science graduates. And I struggle there to give them work to get the work done. The young students, I want to give them the opportunity to do that. And I struggle that. That clearly shows in terms of their theoretical skills to pass the exam, they are doing very well. As I said, a large part of the work is being done AI. It is, people see AI as a threat. Yes, it is if you are not prepared. But if you are prepared, as I said at the beginning, the biggest opportunity is going to come when the whole world is going to redesign their digital infrastructure using AI. And if we don't prepare our students, our children with these skills, we are going to struggle. And let's not focus only on just the theoretical education, but I think somewhere the government has to come in, provide more vocational and more practical experiences. And for that, they should partner with industry so that they are able to get practical experiences. And then I feel the way in 2000 we became big because of the Y2K, because we had the talent. I think we should also become very big during this whole AI boom, focusing on transformation of digital infrastructure using AI.
And India aiming to be a developed nation by 2047. What's your take on that?
My guess is that it will happen before that because the momentum is in India's favor. So the way I look at the growth story is you need to have building blocks. And once the building block is in place, it's just like a house. Building the top floor is the easier part. building the foundation is the most difficult one. And if you see what the government has been doing at the center, Prime Minister Modi's government over the last 10 years, they have been putting that infrastructure blocks, the building blocks in place. And that is the most difficult and painful part. And when the foundational work is done, not many people can actually see. And that is the work they have done. So once that foundational work is done, I think building the building, so that means the acceleration to 47 is going to be much faster. But having said that, I think there are few things which we need to work on. We are going to become before that. We need to change our mindset. Our leadership, both in the political space and in the corporate world, we need to start thinking as a $7-8 trillion economy. We need to start thinking a mindset of a developed economy. We cannot operate a $7 trillion economy with a $1 trillion mindset. We need to have that confidence. And then I think we need to look beyond numbers. I said, talk about the cities. I think I want definitely India to focus on the hygiene economy, okay? And that is going to be one of the biggest growth driver if we are able to sort, the hygiene economy and, just the traffic rules and all these are the very basic things, but that will attract a lot of people and a lot of money to come back to India. Just waiting, especially as I said, NRIs, there's so many NRIs who are willing to come back. And these across the India, these are the things which are holding them back. So the story is intact, the foundational work is being done. And the good thing is that, it is irreversible. It is going to happen. It's in our destiny and we are working towards that. Just change our mindset to start believing that we are a developed economy.
Development process, inequalities also growing like anything. So how can we reduce those and address this challenge?
So I'm very happy the way you actually asked, okay? You never said, how do we remove? You can never remove, unfortunately, okay? We can only reduce the inequality. So, I'm glad that you see it that way. That's how I see, okay? And I think the way we should do is, we should provide equal opportunities to all, okay? We should provide equal access to resources. And once we are able to provide equal access and equal opportunities to all, and that will actually remove a lot of barriers, because people in India, what I've seen, are very driven and hardworking. They are just looking for an opportunity. You get an opportunity, they shine. So that's why it is very important for us to remove those barriers. Like, for example, education is becoming very expensive. That is a good example of we are creating a barrier for people to provide equal access to get good education. You cannot be that if you have money, then only you can get good education. Okay, so it's important for us to remove those barriers and provide equal access. And then wherever you require people who need actual help, the government focus should be to work on the guys who are unable to get that access. Okay, but let's create the access, forget about everyone, focus on the people who need to. That is where I think it's going to work.
థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్ సార్. స్పేస్ టెక్, అగ్రిటెక్ వంటి న్యూ సెగ్మెంట్స్తో 2 తెలుగు రాష్ట్రాలు పెట్టుబడులను ఆకర్షించే సత్తా ఉన్నాయని నితిన్ జైస్వాల్ చెప్తున్నారు. కెమెరామెన్ వీరబాబుతో మురళి, హైదరాబాద్.